As a holistic wellness practitioner, the foundation of my practice and any consultation that you'll have with me is to start with diet. As we all know, food is medicine. I've invited Katie here to show us a little bit of how to use sprouts in your day-to-day life.
Yeah, so I'm gonna demonstrate how I make nori wraps, and this is kind of my default food. It's literally, for me, like raw fast food. I can slap it together in 2 minutes and eat it and just keep farming. And I think it's super easy to do and tastes amazing.
Here's a grocery list of everything that Katie is using today.
So what I like to do is I like to use a couple of nori sheets. So I put a little bit of water in one to get the second one to stick to it. So what I like to do when I make nori wraps is I have these kind of layers. So I line the nori sheets with some kind of leaves, and you could use different things like lettuce, or you could use kale. I'm going to use this beautiful red kale. And then I sprinkle on some fresh herbs. I have some parsley, I have a little bit of cilantro. You can use whatever you like. I have a little bit of marjoram, thyme, and a little bit of rosemary. So I'm gonna cut some of these microgreens to put in our wrap. This is the mild brassica mix, kale, red cabbage, mizuna, tatsoi, and they're fairly mild. This is a little bit spicy, half red cabbage, half red radish. The sunflowers, everybody loves the sunflowers. They're a nice big sprout. Tastes kind of like sunflower seeds. Those are broccoli. They're also fairly mild. And my favorite over here, the onion. You can also cut a few pea shoots in here. So I'm gonna put these sprouts into the wrap. And I like to use as many of my sprouts as I can in everything that I make. I get so much more nutrition out of these little baby greens than even the bigger vegetables. But it's nice to have a contrast of some bigger ones and some smaller vegetables and greens. And then I also like adding some dried herbs, and I use different things. I have some paprika, I have some oregano, I have some dried marjoram. I like to use cumin. At home I use chipotle a lot. Just whatever kind of herbs, dried herbs you like. So I kind of like a combination of both fresh herbs and dry herbs that I feel like they have just add a slightly different kind of texture and flavor. Yeah. And then I'm gonna use my pistachio butter, which is one of my best sellers at the market. I'm gonna put some of it in this cup. I mean, you could also put it directly on the wrap. I like to put it, maybe mix it with some other things. So there's the butter, a little bit of avocado oil. And I'm just I'm not using an exact recipe. I'm just kind of generally make it up as I go along. Some tamari to get a salty, savory flavor. I like this hot sesame oil, also just a tiny bit, like a few drops for flavor. And I like using liquid smoke. It's just a flavoring. It kind of gives things like a sort of almost like a barbecue flavor. So I'm gonna pour this sauce that I made out of the butter and other things into the wrap to make it creamier and more filling. All right, so I'm going to try to wrap this thing now.
Eat it now or take it with you. This wrap will fill you up.
And then I put a little bit of water on the edge here for the nori to stick.
Even with eating the highest quality of foods, you may find your body could use some extra supplementation. I provide personalized pharmaceutical botanical consultations and full pharmacy services.
I'm Jay Gunther,
And I'm Katie Pomelev.
and let thy food be thy medicine. Like, share, comment below. We would love to have you. Katie and I are putting together a 6-week post-election cleanse. If you would like to join us, Katie will be delivering on Saturdays to the Berekeley, Emeryville, Oakland locations. That means your home. Sprouts can be delivered to you weekly on Saturdays. We're looking for about 15 more people to join us.
Yeah, and this is my line of value-added goods that I have at the farmer's market. They're all made out of sprouted nut and seed kind of mixes. So the nut butters are sprouted. All the nuts and seed are sprouted. They're dehydrated at low temperatures, and then they're ground up to a powder and put through a stone grinder for about 24 hours. So it takes me about like up to 4 days to complete a batch. And I do farmers markets in the East Bay. On Saturday, I am at the Berekeley Farmers Market on MLK and Center from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. And I also have a booth at the Grand Lake Farmers Market from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. So you can find me there.